Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, and today we're going to be having another medieval battle. Once again, this is going to be a part of the 100 Years' War, and this is going to be the Battle of Poitiers, or Poitiers, in France during the 100 Years' War, and once again it was an English victory. I'm sorry I'm getting all of these English victories, but the problem is that like half of the battles in the 100 Years' War were siege battles, and you can't really do castle or town sieges here in Tab, so open battlefields are the easiest things to do and the easiest ones to actually get working, and it just so happens that the English happen to have a lot of those that went well for them. But yes, this one is the Battle of Poitiers in 1356 between the English Prince Edward, also known as the Black Prince, versus King John II of France. Yeah, Battle of Poitiers. I don't know, French words are weird. But yes, so we've got the French here, and once again, like Battle of Crécy, or was it Agincourt that I did? I don't know. In either one of the other 100 Years' War battles that I've done so far, the French are coming in stages against the English here. So, starting out with the English have got a lot of English and Welsh longbowmen, which are these guys here. They've just got, you know, your basic sort of chainmail helmet over some, you know, basic medieval clothing. They got their boots on, and they've of course got their deadly English longbows, which are very, very good. We've then got the English men-at-arms. These guys have just got chainmail on for sort of like their trousers, and then they've got chainmail over just, again, your basic medieval equipment. They've got their armoured hats on, and they've got the English cross on their chest. Behind them, so they are a row of 14 by 2 deep men-at-arms, which are the guys with the spears, and then behind them we actually know it's a 3 by 4, 3 by 14 deep of men-at-arms, because for the most part the English army here was made up of men-at-arms and longbowmen with some what is it, Gascon, that's a waiter, that's what you call a waiter, no. But they're like basically Belgians, I think they are, sort of on the medieval French-Belgian border, whichever duchy or you know, the small little kingdom that was. They had some of those knights, and I'm using English knights here to replace them. But yeah, these are your traditional English knights. They've got sort of like the longer flowing coat on, sort of thing, over their plate armour. They've got the English helmets, longsword and a heater shield, although I have to use the jouster shield here in Tabs. And of course, to get them all to stay here, I've just got some English standard bearers, so they'll have the English flag here, and they've just got, you know, sort of your basic chainmail. They've got a sword to defend themselves. They've got some slightly better armour than the men-at-arms, so they do have a little bit of sort of plate armor and protection, but not as much as the knights. But yeah, so there's them, and then right at the back here we have got the prince. He's the big guy here, the prince, all decked up in his plate mail and all that, and he's got some English knights with him. Coming up against them, we've got the French army of John II. We've got some French arbalists, aka French crossbowmen. So they're here again, sort of similar setup as the English. They've just got some chainmail on for the best armour that they have, and they've got their hats. We've then got the French men-at-arms, which are these guys here. They've got their taller helmets, making them stand out more against the English, and they've also got sort of the chainmail covering the upper part of their torso and shoulders. So those are the main front rows, followed up by a small row of knights, French knights, who are here. They've got the sort of pointy beak, beak-looking helmets. But yeah, they're here with the French colours of blue and white, and again they've also got heater shields, but jouster shields here in Tabs. So yeah, we've just got a 10 by 4 of men-at-arms, followed by a 10 wide of knights, with the arbalists on the side. The arbalists are hopefully going to get shot down as soon as they can by the English longbowmen. And then for reinforcing part number 1, the French outnumbered the English once again in this battle, but because of the English longbow they didn't really manage to capitalise on it and they lost. King John was actually captured. Fun fact there. Good on you, King John of the French. But yeah, so... And then reinforcing army number 2, we have got, I think this is a 12 by 2 deep of French men-at-arms, followed by, again, a 12 by 2 deep of French knights. And then coming up here, the French army here did have a small contingency of German knights. They also had some a decent-sized Scottish force, and I don't actually have any Scottish people made up here. No medieval Scottish soldiers made, so I'm having to use these medieval mercenary spearmen that I've made here as the Scots. Hopefully these guys will be able to smash through the English lines. I mean, they do have these giant shields on and spears, which against this depleted, against this smaller English force will definitely help, since they are coming in the third wave effectively. But yeah, so with these, with them we've got the Germans, which I'm using the Teutons here instead of HRE troops. Yeah, these guys are just my Teutonic knights. So you've got some Teutonic macemen, you've got some Teutonic axemen, and then some more macemen at the back. Oh no, I've got one flailman there. I was meant to have more flailmen, but we've just got one flailman. There you go. And then we've got some French knights and more French men-at-arms. And then for King John himself, here he is, the French king, all ready to go. Look at him. He's got some men-at-arms with him, he's got some French macemen, and then coming up right at behind, the last of the French force here is the French knight. So, here we are, coming to the Battle of Poitiers. Who will win? The English or the French? Quite honestly, I want to say the French. I know I said that the last time we had one of these battles and the English completely demolished them with their longbowmen, but I think the Scottish troops at the very back there with their giant shields are going to absorb a lot of those longbow shots. So yeah. Here's the stats of it as well. 120 Englishmen versus 186 Frenchmen. These battles are certainly very large due to me trying to get the numbers all to a good proportion. So yeah, 120 English versus 186 French. The English cost here is 1600. French cost 22,400. Let's see how it goes. So of course, right away, both sides are going to have their ranged units fire. So of course, the arbalists are going to fire first. Here we go, because the longbowmen have got to draw back their bowstrings. Hopefully, no, they're not going to be. Not all of them are going to be able to do it in time. Although a large portion of those arbalists missed, or they hit the main English front line here, and yeah, the English longbowmen, oh, they're just going to take down those French in droves. Look at all of those men-at-arms going down. Oh, and one last arrow for good measure. Take a screenshot of that. Oh, they managed to get one of the arbalists back here, actually. None of the knights this time. All of the knights here seem to be alright. Oh, down goes another man-at-arms. But, yeah, looks like... What's that? Oh, that's just a regular French knight. He's just been sort of caught there. But as we can see here, yeah, there's a lot of men-at-arms already down, and a couple of the arbalists. Oh, one of the French knights got taken out there. Oh, very nice, very nice. That's what the English need. Some more of them. Take out the French knights before they can reach them. But in comes another arbalist shot. They are going to be able to tear through these English men-at-arms, but oh. English knight manages to save his comrade there. So the English have suffered some casualties. One brave English man-at-arms there charging force, but look at this. The French front row here has not even managed to get in. Not even managed to get in range of the main English front force here. The arbalists are starting to fire again, as we can see, but already the longbowmen are on their third, fourth volley, and all of the French men-at-arms are dead. They're all dead. It's just the knights, and even then, the knights are starting to die as well. I mean, the English man-at-arms there who charged out, yeah, he sort of died. But look at this. The second line of French troops are starting to appear, but the first line of French troops, there goes another one. There goes another one. There's 5 knights left out of the 10 that started out here. Yeah, that's really put a dampener on this French advance. They are blocking a decent amount of longbow shot, but for the most part, these longbow arrows are just getting... Oh, yeah, down goes another one. And these longbows are just managing to get through the French plate armour just without a problem. I mean, the English have suffered barely any casualties here. I mean, they have lost some... it looks like the Arbalists have been targeting the longbowmen, which is a good idea from the Arbalists, considering that the longbowmen here are going to have to deal with the French coming towards them, rather than dealing with the Arbalists. So, yeah, that's definitely going to hamper the English as the battle progresses, because the sooner that the English can deal with the French knights that are coming at them, the French army, the sooner they can actually target those Arbalists. But for now, here comes the French second wave, and already, yeah, down goes 2 men-at-arms there. We've got another one, probably, yeah, there goes another one over there. The French knights, though, are having a little bit of a better go at it here. Ooh, with this second row, but even so, down goes another man-at-arms. Even so, look at that. The English just charged out, dealt with the 4 French knights that were left here, and now they're... And now some of them are advancing, some of the men-at-arms are advancing here. But not all too much, but then look at this solid blob of French knights. And in comes some more arbalist shots, but hopefully the English knights, yeah, they're going to be able to easily deal with them. We've still got a decent amount of longbowmen left as well. Looks like the arbalists are sort of half and halving their shots, as it were. I mean, Prince Edward hasn't even got in. He hasn't even bothered charging in here with his knights. He's just been sitting at the back watching his longbowmen tear up these Frenchmen. I mean, the last of the French forces is advancing now. I mean, as we can see here, we've got the Teutons and the Scots advancing as well with that last line, and of course the French king bringing up the rear. He is slow after all with all of his plate armour. The English, yeah, they're getting through the French. I mean, slowly but surely. There's still like half of their line left over here. I mean, there's still all of these men-at-arms and knights as well. Honestly, this force could probably hold for a little bit, considering that they also have the support of these many longbowmen firing point-blank range all into these guys. But the Scots have now got involved. These mercenary spearmen that I'm using to represent the Scots. And I mean, the French, they're giving it a good go. All of these French knights in charge as an English knight, getting ready to deal with that Frenchie. There is definitely less English here than there was. I mean, it's not surprising the English were bound to lose some men in this sort of melee, but as they get closer, they will attract obviously these men, and don't forget the English king is still not involved either. We've lost some longbowmen on both sides, but I think the arbalists are no longer really targeting these guys. They're now targeting the men in the melee. Talking of the men in the melee, the Scots, there's just shields everywhere. There's just shields everywhere from all of these Scottish spearmen. Yeah, I mean, there was, what was it, 20, I think, 20 Scottish spearmen in this French army that I gave them. The mace men are starting to get in here. Here we go, coming in. I think there's an English knight trapped under here. Yeah, I think he might have just died, but who really knows. Oh, the French king is involved. Here he is. Good old King John. King John II. Oh, down goes an English knight. It looks like the French are actually breaking through here, which has brought in, finally, the Black Prince and his reinforcements. I mean, the French are dangerously close to the longbowmen on this side, though the longbowmen have really got to defend themselves. Oh, down goes a man-at-arms. Probably to a Scot. Oh, down goes another man-at-arms, and the French are starting to charge. The French king! The French king himself is coming for these longbowmen. He's had enough of that crap. He is coming for them. It looks like the last of the English are sort of involved. We've still got some men-at-arms over there. Down goes a French man-at-arms, talking of. There's still one English knight back there. Get involved, you. Come on. Deal with the Frenchies. Talking of the Frenchies, here's the French king. I mean, he's not liable to die, I don't think, to these longbowmen. Although saying that, I've seen it happen before to other big powers. and to other big units that I've made. They've all died in stupid ways. Talking of, not exactly talking of, still in comes a Scottish spearman. We've also got a Teuton here getting involved. You can tell who the Teutons are because they have all of this white armour on. Looks like the last of the longbowmen are actually dying over here. We've got a French knight and the Teutonic maceman over there. We've still got the English flag bearer. He's still here. He's got the Black Prince defending him. Good old Prince Edward, who is smacking the French king. We actually got a king-on-king fight here. We've got a one-on-one melee. It looks like, I mean, the prince is having to deal with a Teutonic maceman, and the French king is still trying to deal with a... Oh no, that's the flailman. That's the Teutonic flailman. Battering the prince. Ooh. With his triple flail. I mean, the French king is, you know, having fun with those guys over there. I think there's an English knight still trapped under there somewhere. Yeah, there's definitely been some casualties to these longbowmen, who are definitely doing their best. I mean, the last of the Scottish units over here are actually dying, which is good. If the English can kill off all of these Scottish spearmen, then that will definitely help them. Yeah, down goes another Scottish spearman. I think the other one died over there to the prince. An English knight here is trying to deal with this last Scottish man. Looks like the French king over there has. The French king over there has just dealt with the last of the longbowmen. It's about even, I'd say, left in the middle. Really, the important thing is for these longbowmen to stay alive, but down goes the standard bearer. And actually, the flag bearer dying is actually going to allow these last two men-at-arms to get involved as well. As for who's left over here, we've still got the French king over there. We've still got, of course, Prince Edward here. We've also got Teutonic maceman. He hit the English man-at-arms, but he didn't kill him. Talking of, down goes one of the English knights to one of the longbowmen. That's not great. We've still got this English knight who just stabs that Scottish spearman in the face. Took down the last of the Scots, actually. There is no more Scottish troops remaining, which is definitely a big boom for the English. Is the prince dead? Don't tell me the prince is dead. Come on, prince. The prince is dead. That is bad. That is very, very bad news. The prince is dead. The French king has been shot by his own arbalist. And oh no, there is actually a Scottish spearman left. That's not great either. These last two English men-at-arms are getting involved. Has the French king died? No, he got shot by an arbalist, but he's still alive. The English knight, he's still alive over here. He's finally managed to get out from under the scrum of people trying to attack him, but... Oh, we got another English knight, but then, yeah, he instantly died. Another English knight here, though, is still alive. Blocked an arbalist shot. We've still got this one English knight defending the standard. And we've, of course, got the remaining... What's this, about 10 longbowmen, who are now getting the full attention of those arbalists, who are not actually all that accurate. The French, they keep on missing, they keep on going high, which, I mean, is good for the English. I mean, keep doing it, Frenchies. Keep on missing those shots. The king is dead. Long live the next king of France, but yes, King John has finally died. I think he might have died to a knight or something that was stuck under there. As for the remaining French troops, this is all that really remains of them. We've still got a couple of men-at-arms and a knight over there. We've got another knight over there who I think is caught up on an arbalist. Yeah, he's caught up on an arbalist crossbow. Oh no, he's just goes up. He's giving him a friendly hug. He's giving him a friendly arm around. And the same with these guys, I think. Yeah, we've got three men-at-arms and a knight caught on a crossbow. Who is remaining? Good news. The last Scottish spearman has just died, actually. You can see his shield boinged up there from when he died. We've still got around 4 or so French knights. We've still got Teutonic... We've we've still got the Teutonic Flailman still alive. How about that? One of the Germans is still alive. We've still got 2 men-at-arms. We've got a French maceman back here. Yeah, we've got some French knights over here. We've still got some crossbow bolts coming in. It looks like they have actually managed to kill off some of these longbowmen. And these are really the last remaining English troops other than the flag bearer and this English knight. So it's really going to be down to how long these 6 longbowmen can survive as to whether or not they can save this battle now. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, these arbalists. Look at how many crossbow bolts they've missed. The French are terrible shots. Yeah, there goes another one. French are terrible shots here. Talking of, we've got the English knight still alive here. The standard bearer, I think, is dead. Yeah, he's definitely dead. He is definitely one dead standard bearer. And talking of dead, I think these last 4 longbowmen are not going to be able to kill these French knights. I mean, we've got 3 French knights, the Teutonic Flailman, we've got a French maceman, we've got a French man-at-arms. In comes the maceman, smacks one of the French on the back of the head. This English knight, I mean, he's going to give it a good go. He's killed one of the French knights. Let's see if he can't deal with this one. He's got another French knight left over there to deal with as well, don't forget. This French man's got a very large head. I've just realised. Look at how big this man's head is compared to his body. Big-brained French man. Is he going to be big-brained enough to kill the English knight? No, the English knight managed to block it. Is that the standard bearers? No, that was just the standard flying around. Oh, in comes a French man-at-arms. Oh, there's another French knight. Let me get out of your way, my friend. Last of the longbowmen. And he's going to die to... Oh, the man-at-arms. Yep, there he goes, getting poked to death. And over here, the English knight, he's doing his best. Is he going to be able to kill the big-brain Frenchman? Nope, that was just a glancing blow. The last of the French are now going to be coming over as well. In charges the Frenchman, knocks over the man-at-arms. English knight still trying to hit the big brain man. I mean, come on, my friend. You've got to be able to kill the... Look at the size of this man's head. Look at the size of this man's head. Surely you can kill him. Oh, arbalist shots going dangerously close to this knight. What this knight's got to hope for now is that some of these arbalists are such terrible shots that they actually hit the French themselves, or they just hit each other. Apparently. In comes the knight, going for a nice swing. Oh, he hits the back of the French knight's head, but he doesn't kill him. Then he blocks an arbalist shot. And oh, those arbalist shots are coming very dangerously close to the French troops they're meant to be helping. It's just this one knight left. God, I don't think the knight's got this, if I'm perfectly honest. Oh, arbalist shots. Oh, headshot, and down he goes. He was not able to take down the big brain Frenchman. Where is he? Here he is. Big brain Frenchman. Yep, he's still alive. You can see his little eyes there. So yeah, turns out in tabs the Battle of Poitiers here did not go the way of the English. I mean, it looked at the beginning to be going in very much in the English favour as they took down that entire first wave with barely losing a man. But the overwhelming number of Frenchmen here definitely was able to overcome the English longbowmen at long last. Technically, in the real battle, they did have horsemen with the English, and the horsemen were instrumental to breaking the French at the end of the battle. But a horseman in tabs, I can't make them in the unit creator yet without modding it, and the horsemen we've got in the game already, well, they'd completely break the balance of battle in this scenario, I do have to say. So, yeah. No no horses, no cavalry, which meant that in the absence of cavalry, the English were not quite able to pull out victory. But even so, the French for this was definitely a Pyrrhic victory. Like I say, if you want to look at it in total war terms, I think this would probably be classed as a Pyrrhic victory because there's not all too many Frenchmen left, especially not actual French melee units in comparison to the English. It was what, 186 Frenchmen to 120 Englishmen, and considering the French here have got about 20 or 30 men left, that's definitely not a close or decisive victory for the French in this case. I mean, they did manage to take down the Prince. They did at least manage to do that, but then at the same time they did lose King John, so that's not quite a worthy trade-off. The Scottish definitely helped out the French here. Not as much as I was expecting, though. I do have to admit the Scottish spearmen I expected to really be able to deal with the longbowmen, but I don't really think they actually took that much longbow fire. And at least one of them did actually die to the longbowmen. But even so, I mean, just look at the amount of French casualties that occurred before they even reached the English. I mean, just look at the amount of dead men-at-arms, at least, here. There's at least, like, 20 men-at-arms here. And then if you count in this lot, that's like 40 men that the French lost before they even reached the English lines due to longbow fire. And then probably a decent amount of these guys actually in here died to longbow fire as well. I do have to say, though, that the longbowmen probably could have done with targeting the arbalists, because as inaccurate as the arbalists were in this battle, apparently, they did at least manage to kill off a decent amount of these longbowmen, which helped out the French immensely, but definitely didn't help the pressed English. But as for the French survivors, we do have one Teutonic flailman here. We do also have about I don't know, about 8 perhaps French knights. We've got a couple of men-at-arms. We do have a French maceman as well. Looks like over here the longbowmen might have managed to kill one of those French knights, but yeah, there was no way the longbowmen were really surviving against that lot once they reached them. So, yeah, in this case, a French victory, a French Pyrrhic victory against the English here. Here is the state of the battlefield. If I was to zoom out, as it were, if I was to get a bird's eye view, here we go. That's the status of the battlefield.